I am very glad to meet you all once again through this video presentation on knowing Don Bosco. It was on 7th February 1865 Don Bosco narrated the following story. There was a rich man who was very seriously ill and was bedridden. As he was fast approaching his death, one of his friends asked the sick person whether he would like to meet a priest. The sick person immediately responded saying, "No, I don't want to meet any priest at all. Added to that, I do not want to make my sins known to anyone by making a confession." Then the friend asked him if the priest was Don Bosco, he would be interested in meeting him or not. Since the sick person heard much about Don Bosco and he knew Don Bosco personally, he said, "If it is Don Bosco, I am very happy to meet him. But one condition, Don Bosco should not talk about the sacrament of reconciliation." After some time, his friend brought Don Bosco to the sick person's room. On seeing Don Bosco, the sick man was very happy, and he asked Don Bosco to talk about history, science, politics, etc., but never about religious life and confession. Don Bosco said yes. After some time, Don Bosco began narrating a lot of short stories and historical events. In his own style, Don Bosco also added a bit of humor in his narration. The sick person was very happy and he had a very good laughter. He was laughing, and at one particular point of time, the sick person asked Don Bosco to stop narrating stories because he was afraid he might die because he was laughing too much. And Don Bosco said, "Okay, I stop narrating stories, do not worry. But now let us talk about something very important and more serious." Immediately the sick man responded, "Don Bosco, I hope you remember the first condition that I placed before you as you entered my room." And Don Bosco said, "Yes, I should not talk about the sacrament of reconciliation, but it is you who repeatedly talk about the sacrament of reconciliation and not I. I am not going to talk about a confession, but something else. Shall we talk about your past life?" asked Don Bosco to the sick person. And the man said yes. And Don Bosco began narrating one event after the other from the life of this sick person. The sick person was surprised to hear all this. He turned to Don Bosco and said, "Don Bosco, how do you know all this? Whatever you said is exactly true. They all happened in my life." And Don Bosco said, "Yes, I know all the events that happened in your life." Now this sick person was afraid because Don Bosco knew all his sins. And the sick person turned to Don Bosco and said, "Don Bosco, can I make my confession now? Because I want to have all my sins forgiven." Then he made a confession to Don Bosco and he experienced the divine forgiveness. Dear friends, whenever we feel that we have fallen from grace, let us turn to God and ask forgiveness of the Lord, as this sick person who enjoyed the last days of his life happily on this earth after making his confession. Long live Don Bosco and his mission.